Hi guys, I'm so excited to share with you this curriculum that no one has ever heard of, but it has been around for a while. I was looking through christianbook.com and I came across this and I was like, no way, a Christian math curriculum. Let's check it out. And so I'm going to flip through this mathematics grade 3 purposeful design. And this, you can see the chapters: place value, addition, subtraction, multiplication facts, division facts. This is not a spiral approach. This is a mastery approach. Which I like. And it's really hard to find math curriculums with a mastery approach that are Christian also. I've tried BJU, I've tried Christian Light, I've tried Matthew C, and I've tried Math with Confidence. And this I feel is a great happy medium of not too spiral, and I think it's a little bit more mastery than BJU Press. Okay, so it is a Christian curriculum. So every time you see a new chapter, it has a Bible verse theme that it goes through. So obviously it's in color, and not many are in color. I am just flipping through here, and I will give a review later when we start to use this curriculum. And I'll also be using the second grade too. So from flip throughs, you can see what it covers. You can see the layout and how it transitions from one topic to another. What you can't see is the method and how it taught. I could kind of skim through the teacher's guide and give you some examples, but it does bring in some hands-on, simplified ways of teaching, but that are hands-on. And what I really like is, here, let me show you the very titles of that, so it'll make it easier. Each time you start a lesson, you start it with a real life problem, and you teach starting from the real life problem, as opposed to many curriculums start with the idea, just like the math facts. They start with just like the math facts, and then they try and bring in real life later. But this actually starts with real life. You'll know that you will get in real life problems in the very beginning, engaging the students. So I have flipped through. We don't have the third grade teacher's guide yet, but I have the fourth grade teacher's guide, which obviously has similar resources, similar way to teach. This is a thorough curriculum. If you want it to be thorough, they have storybooks, math storybooks that go with each chapter, ninth chapter, each unit. If you want to add in books, I know that Math with Confidence has reading books, so they have options like that. You work with blocks. You work with different, not like the manipulatives aren't crazy. You have kind of games involved, but they're not games like Math with Confidence that are actually like board games and you're sitting down for 20 minutes. It's more just kind of like a fun activity. So now we're in multiplication by 3s, multiplications by 5s, multiplication by 0 and 1. Problem solving multiply. You will notice that towards the end of each chapter, you always have like a real life of problem solving. This book has a lot of conceptual thinking math. Now we have multiply by 6, multiply by 7, which I actually love. We're not jumping around. Let's multiply just till 4 and then change the subject. Now they're going to get in all multiply by 8, multiply by 9, all the math facts in. And they do introduce the properties. So it's not, if you want your child to actually excel in math, this is this would go with any competitive math curriculum. Okay, so we are in division facts, and here's the Bible verse. And so when we're going through this, I'll show you. So here's another problem solving. Evaluate the results. And also at the end, here we have practicing 6 by 7, divide by 8, divide by 9, practice dividing by 9, graphs. We do have chapter review at the ends of each chapter. So what I like about this book, what I was finding was an issue with the BJU math, is it didn't have the mental let's multiply by 10 page, and then we go into multiplying by hundreds. So here you can see it's very mastery of, you know, if we're learning how to multiply by tens, let's go ahead and teach multiply by hundreds and not wait till whatever random spot in the textbook to teach it. Multiplying without regrouping, and then we're going to do regrouping multiplication. Three-digit regrouping hundreds. And chapter review. And then now we're going to get a little deeper into division. Divide by multiples of 10. Estimate. Remainder is 3-digit dividends, 4-digit dividends. I like the order of the book. Find averages and a problem solving. You know, Clayton and his parents donate food to help the hungry people. And understanding probability. Chapter 7 review. Chapters 4 through 7 review. So then there's a second review after every 3 to 4 chapters. Geometry, they say on their website that they really like geometry. And I know a lot of people say that they don't like fluff curriculums. But I mean, geometry is, I mean, I have kids who love to draw, who love sewing, art, building. So I think this kind of stuff isn't fluff. You know, it's what you're going to use when you're building. Not only are you just trying to drill math facts, but you're getting more information. This does, I think, go pretty... it teaches a little bit more in depth than BJU from what I've seen. I can do a comparison later. All right, so we have coordinate pairs, mapping coordinates, making predictions, chapter 8 review, chapter 9 measurements, non-standard units, inches and feet, nearest inch and half inch, yards, miles, metric, kilometers. What I do like in this, if you notice, it's actually real pictures. It's not just a bunch of cartoons. Cartoon pictures, you know. And look at these. You gotta do the weight of the babies. Changing it to ounces and stuff. Capacity metric. Finding volume. Temperature in Celsius. This is what I thought was really cool. They added biblical units of measurement. So they actually say the different units of measurement of length, weight, and capacity in the Bible, which I haven't seen too many curriculums do that. Now we're at fractions. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there, it was separated into 4 headwaters. That's great. Okay, so parts of a fraction. And so here we, have the real life scenario, and then we're going to learn about it. And they do, circle graphs, bar graphs to show fractions, comparing fractions, equivalent fractions, add fractions, subtract fractions, whole and mixed numbers. So as you can see, this is what a mastery math looks like. Fractions on a number line, problem solving using recipe. You have to have this recipe. And probability, chapter 10 review. So you are learning those terms, which we'll see how that goes. I'm bad with math terms, but maybe if I start using them, my kids will pick them up. All right, then we go into decimals. Tenths, hundredths, and they're showing you with money. The decimals relate fractions and decimals. Compare order decimals. Read and write decimals. Decimals with whole numbers, so that would be mixed numbers. Estimate sum and differences, add and subtract decimals. And here's a problem solving page. Again, review and graphs, and chapter 11 review. Now we are at time and money. So before and after the hour, find the elapsed time. Using a schedule, counting. So this is grade 3. This is the second edition. I wanted the second edition as teacher guides are easier to find used for second edition. And, just because it's older doesn't mean it's worse. But they are just now coming out with a third edition. All right, chapter 13, equations and cumulative review. Here we have a map of Israel when we're learning about orders of operations. Solve for missing numbers. Talking about the Dead Sea here. This is a cool chapter. Dates, figs, olives, pomegranates are all grown in Israel. Becca and her mother purchased dried figs and dates at the market. Writing equations. All right, and then we get another review of chapters 1 through 3 at the end, 4 through 7, 8 through 10, 11 through 12. I think, there we go. And so we have this at the end. I can flip through and just kind of show you the teacher's guide. Okay, so I know that I just did a flip through mathematics grade 3, but I just have the 4th grade teaching guide right now. The 3rd hasn't arrived yet. Okay, but so I will show you. So in the teacher's guide, you will have a worldview, biblical worldview, You'll have an extension. These can be little activity or games. And you also have enrichment. So those are also activities in real life. Okay. So here we have scope and sequence for grades kindergarten through grade 6. They do have an intermediate, but I think they only offer that PDF form, but it's not like printable. Anyways, so it mainly just goes through grade 6. Okay, so here they really want you to work on problem solving in this math. So this is chapter 1. They have it laid out on the different lessons. This is place value. So here you're going to have the world view, and it's going to be, Christian worldview, and you're going to have preparation. They have black line masters that you can print, and so this one says black line master math book scavenger hunt for each student, and you have different a lot of different things that you can print from the teacher's guide. That's why the teacher's guide is a little bit more expensive, but when you add up the workbook and the teacher's guide, it's still about the same price range as others. Okay, so here you're working with base 10 blocks, and you also have extensions, which are like if your child wants to go further, do a real life working with what you're learning. Okay, so me kind of switch. I didn't mark it with my tabs, but so here's an extension, and so have students attach sheets of paper end to end to draw timelines, direct them to draw and label events of their first 6th and 9th years, and then draw predictions of what may happen in their 18th, 32nd, and 60th year. Share Joshua chapter 1, verse 9 with students and have them add it to the bottom of their timelines. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So they have extra stuff besides just how to do this page. If you want to do it, you're going to have an introduction, and it's not like, sometimes it's like a little activity. Here we have like, see if you can see that, like wave, raise your hand if you're the 15th student, wave your hand if you're the 7th student. So yeah, this is used in Christian schools, but easily adaptable to, just like you and the child. Okay, so they do give instruction of what to do, what to have your students write. They do tell you what they do, but they don't. And they have the green is the answers like the kids can say, but it's not exactly like word by word exactly what you should say, like Saxon, where the teacher's book would be like 3 pages for just like one lesson. I like how you can see it all right here. So, yeah, so you'll have objection, preparation, gather newspaper and advertisements for new or used cars, here's an extension through this one right here. This topic is actually ordering numbers, and here we have an enrichment if you want to do, and also it's not every chapter has it, but some chapters do have project to go along with it. So, and also, let's see if I can find that. So it does do hands-on activity, but not like, so here's like a little game. You can play if you want. When I was looking through it earlier, they do use like blocks. Here's a little craft sticks, cups, triangle cards. We're adding play the game Pop if you wanted to. I'm just pointing that out. Obviously, if you want a simple curriculum, I think this lines it out really well. But I just wanted to do a flip through of this since not many people have actually heard of it, and I really liked that it had real life pictures, use real life examples to start teaching the lesson, so to get them critically thinking. And I think this level, I think it teaches a lot. I can give a deeper deeper review through all this, and another one because I want to make this short. But anyways, yeah, this is great. It does have some it has a lot if you want to add to it, but is not completely necessary. So just remember that this is grade 4 when you're looking at it. So here's a project. This is chapter 6, multiplication of division problems. So this project is you're calculating the sugar content in different foods. So, yes, and moments from the master. Great. Okay. All right. I hope this review was helpful, and I will do an in-depth review of this later. Can't wait to get started on this math curriculum this year. Thank you for watching, and check out my other videos. And I have, I will do a lot of math comparisons. I do like math, so I like teaching it. So, yeah. Have a great day, and you're doing great.